Welcome everybody to the Kirin Rise University. I am Ed Cruz, and today we got a subject on the 20 single man technique, but we're going to go a little bit deeper on it, and the subject's basically called Did You Know? Little tits and bits and information that may help you in your Wing Chun practice. By the way, thank you everybody for subscribing, sharing, commenting, and so forth. And if you haven't done so already, definitely click on the button to subscribe. And also, if you haven't checked out the Kirin Rise University on Facebook, please definitely do so. All right, more later on other subjects regarding that. So Did You Know is basically, let's go over the 20 single man techniques. I'm going to go over it quickly for you so you're aware of what I'm talking about. 20 single man techniques encompasses basically every block that you have in Wing Chun, right? And pretty much everything that you need to know as far as blocking, attacking, and so forth comes from this 20 single man technique. So let's take a look at it first. I'll go over each one first. Tan, Bong, Lap, Pak, Lan, Bu, Jump, Wu, Hyun, Jet, Outside Jet, Gum, Fak, Pow, Gan, Ding, Han, Lo, Jung, Cow. Alright, so that's the 20 single man techniques. You pretty much find almost everything on the Sim Tao form, but a little tidbits about things that you may or may not know. Okay, so did you know when we come to do the Tanzao motion, right here, Tanzao motion. Tanzao you can find in the first section of the first form, Sim Tao. And you see it right away in the opening move. Basically, after you do the punch, you see this motion here. But that Tanzao motion is not the same Tanzao motion that you actually apply. That first Tanzao motion that you see in Sim Tao is just the structure of the Tanzao, right? And by that means the structure of the Tanzao, how you hold the position of the Tanzao. The actual next motions of Tanzao is actually applied basically based on a flip. Because, right, every motion that we have is based off touch, then apply. Touch, then apply, and drill. So when I touch a motion, right, if you were to do just like go like this and try to do a tan and punch, it'd be very difficult to apply because the Tanzao motion is basically from the touch, I give nothing to that opponent. But after the touch, that's when the flip motion occurs for the Tanzao to be applied. Flip and drill. And basically, did you know also that the angle of the cut for Tanzao is a downward motion? So Tanzao, while drilling to the opponent, the force is actually cutting down to this motion. Okay, so that's something maybe you did or did not know. Next thing, Bong Sao motion. Bong Sao motion. Did you know that if you try to apply Bong Sao against a regular punch or a jab or any other motion, or basically maybe in Yip Man 3 when Mike Tyson threw it, did you know you will get killed because the application of Bong Sao is not used that way. Usually Bong Sao is applied from the grab and the pull. From the grab and the pull, then you can apply Bong Sao. But to do a straight out jab and try to block it with Bong Sao, yeah, that's not a good idea. So the thing to remember about Bong Sao is that it's in the mid family range. You have three ranges: middle range, low range, and the high range here. Now, while it looks like it is dealing with the face, this is actually a mid-range block. And did you know actually that when you deal with Bong Sao and the force comes in, I'm not going forward, right, pushing forward, but the motion, more force is coming, the more my motion is going down. It's drilling downwards to the center of the target, okay? So something that you may or may not know. When it comes to Lap Sao motion, did you know? All right, when it comes to Lap Sao motion, there's two motions, right? You see the 20 single man techniques. And technically, all those motions are transitory. In other words, transitional motions to lead to the point of control. So that means if I do Tanzao, I'm not actually going to try to usually apply Tanzao and then punch. If I do Tanzao, my motion drills with the block, and then it converts either to a Pak or a Lap. Why is that? Because when you do Lap Sao or Pak Sao, what happens? You have more control. And what I want to do is make sure I control my opponent when I lay down the hit. Okay? Something that you know. So Tan Ban Lap, and now we go, next one is Pak Sao. Did you know, in Pak Sao, right? Pak Sao, two things to remember about Pak Sao that you may not know. When I do Pak Sao, it functions like a Venus flytrap, right? If your tension is correct on the Pak Sao, the moment I touch your hand, or my hand touches the opponent's, any part of the body, I don't go like this and then try to grab it. If the tension is correct with your hand, by the time I touch, it automatically closes. So that's something you have to be aware of when you actually apply Pak Sao. In addition to Pak Sao, did you know also in these 2 points right here, left side, right side, when you touch Pak Sao, you're actually manipulating and changing these pressure points right here to deal with the force. It could vary from one more on this side, one more on this side, and so forth. All varying depending on the force and how you're controlling that individual. Next one, Lanzao. Lanzao, did you know this is two motions in Wing Chun are horizontal. Lanzao and Bong Sao. Did you know that from Lanzao, in the holding the position, just a slight angle change like this is all the difference it makes to actually make it structurally strong. You put your hand in this position, do Lanzao, and the force comes in, it will automatically collapse. By turning your hand slightly, what this does actually not only creates a structural hold, you'll feel it. This turn here locks your shoulder into position to your body. So now you're actually connected to your body. This position here does not lock it, and now you have to use muscles to hold it. So something that you may or may not know. Did you know Busao motion, BUG motion, whatever you want to call it, is not an eye jab, okay? There are ways to apply fingers to the face and eyes, but going straight directly into it is not how it's actually applied. BUG motion, did you know, is actually for regaining the line. If I'm losing it, I use the BUG motion to regain the line. But the difference that you may or may not know is if I hold BUG like this, looks okay, right? But by turning my hand this angle, just a slight angle here, by doing this, you actually connect it to your body. You see that? Here it looks like a typical BG, looks like anybody else. Slight angle change here, connects it to my body. Here, it won't be connected to your body. Something you may or may not know. Let's see, next motion, after Bu is jump. Jump sound motion. Did you know jump sound motion is actually this motion that you see in Song Tao after you open and close and then do this lock sound motion. But the thing to remember about jump sound motion, like every other motion, it has a drilling motion. The jump sound motion is on the pinky side motion. So when we go here, most people think that this motion is just chopping down. This is not chopping down. This motion is actually drilling. So when I hold this position here and the punch is coming towards me, this is actually drilling to the center every single time. It's not just unique to jump sound. Every motion has a drilling motion to it. All right. Did you know Wusao? Wusao, when you find Wusao and actually apply it and develop it in Song Tao, when you do this in Song Tao, did you know that you're actually going forward while you're actually pulling back? If you're only pulling the motion backwards, the force will automatically collapse it. So two motions have always equal and opposite force to it. While I'm pulling it back, my motion is actually going forward at the same time, the forward intent of that. So why? So without that forward intent, the hand automatically collapses. Also, there's more did you knows regarding that, but we could do that for another subject later. So from here, Wusao, Hyunza. Do you know Hyunza motion? You see Hyunza motion throughout the entire form. Song Tao, Chum Q, BJ, and you see this rolling motion all the time. Did you know basically there's three on the bottom and 3 on the top meridian points to make a total of 6. These meridian points are here to relax you. More often than not, when guys practice Wing Chun, they're very tight, right? So over and over, you practice circulating motion to what? Eventually ease you down and relax your motions. Okay, without that, you're basically tight. That's why girls have a easier time in the beginning to learn Wing Chun because they're more relaxed. Okay, so that motion, meridian points here, that's why you're constantly rotating around. Yeah, also, did you know that when we do the circulating motion, the reason we have the circulating motion for that too, is did you know that's how we actually transfer from one point to another? Unlike other styles where if I deal with a punch, I'm not blocking high, low, down, and so forth. If I deal with any attack, look at the rotation I'm doing to deal with any kind of attack. It's a small motion rotating around the wrist. All right, next one. Did you know Jetsa? Jetsa is basically, after this one, is a jerking motion. Do you know when you do Jetsa in the form and you go like this, having the angle cupping this way, see how I change my angle like this, makes all the world of difference. You'll feel a change in your elbow position too when you do this. By holding in this position, you lock in on this point of the thumb in order to control that opponent. Did you know that? So this is the area from the Jetsa motion to do that. In addition, remember the Jetsa is not pushing down. My elbow actually pulls back, and then as a result of it, causes my wrist to snap and actually cause a jerky motion. Did you know outside jet motion? Outside jet motion, you can find it in the first form. Outside jet motion, the key to getting this flick motion here is not just the wrist going up. Did you know that actually having the elbow going in allows you to flick the wrist going up? So that's the key thing. You're always having things working together. One going opposite, one going in the same direction, regardless of the fact you need this elbow motion in order to create this jet motion in order to create the outside jet. Did you know, next one, Gumsao. Gumsao, a lot of times people do Gumsao wrong because they try to Gumsao from up here, right? Did you know by the time I do this motion from jet and I start relaxing it, only when my hand position is at this point where my elbow can actually push down is when I actually apply the Gung Fu. I don't start gumming from here. I start gumming from here and push the motion down. Okay, that's Gung Fu. Next motion is basically Faksa motion. Okay, of the Faksa motion, right? Did you know in Wing Chun, and in our style of Wing Chun too, we practice the middle motion for Faksa for muscular development. Right here, right? Because right here is going straight, it's actually pretty weak. But did you know actually when you apply it, you actually have to shift and turn, okay? Development and application are two different things, but you gotta make sure you know exactly what you're developing. In addition to that, did you know Faksa is actually the same thing as pointing, right? I'm actually pointing my technique. If you try to punch like this, you're gonna hurt your elbow. So that means you don't Faksa like this either, right? See, I'm popping my elbow, no different from punching like this. So from here, I'm actually pointing. I'm point and extend, so I don't hurt my body. Did you know, Pausa, next motion up. Pausa, you see my hands close like this. Actual application, Pausa, you see my hands open up. Why? Because I need the whole palm touching, and then from here, the individual's control from this point on. Did you know that? Also, let's see, Ganza. You know, if you look at Ganza motion from this motion on, once again, a little shift. Most people will Ganza in this direction. They'll Gan like this. Gan. But actually, Ganza motion is this direction. See the difference? That means my elbow's out this way as opposed to my elbow in. So if I shoot out like this, how I mentioned Bu out here, elbow adjustments makes a big difference. Well, Bu or Gan, same actual motions. One's high, one's low. When I go down here for Bu, or Gan actually, look at my elbow position. One's this way is wrong, this way is right. Did you know that? Next motion, Ding Sao. Ding Sao motion is here. Ding Sao actually on the family side is, on the thumb side is the Tanza family, right? But did you know that actually Ding Sao, while if I go in this direction, right, I can actually apply Ding Sao here on the right side or Ding Sao here on the left side. Technically, right side is stronger, left side is applicable, but did you know both sides can actually be used for Ding Sao? All right, next one, Hanza. Hanza motion. Ding and Han are long bridge motion. When you do Hanza here, you know actually many different ways to apply Hanza. Hanza, if I'm grabbing two hands here, I can pull in like this. Pull and kick, pull and knee or whatever. Hanza motion is also a grab, but Hanza can also be used as a clear motion as well. You know that. In Sifu Fang's demonstration, where at the very end you see him carry somebody and then slam them on the ground, he does that quite a bit in some of his demonstration. That's basically Ding Han motion that he's combining and applying on that motion. Almost there. Did you know low bangsa? Low bangsa and high bangsa or regular bangsa are two different things. Regular bangsa I block with this part. Low bangsa I block with the shoulder area right here. So I'm actually doing the upper part area to block with it. A lot of times people think all of a sudden you can circle and block the low area here with the low bangsa, but actually this area will not protect you from this sliding actually up to you. If a punch is coming here, low bangsa is actually what's used to clear it, okay? Did you know that? Finally, Jungsa. Jungsa, Tanza, both thumb side family. Did you know actually though the rotations of Jungsa and Tanza are actually totally different? If I look at Tanza, my Tanza here is turning. This one on the left side is turning counterclockwise. So I'm actually cutting down at this angle. When you do Jungsa is the exact opposite of Tanza. This is rotating clockwise and going at this direction. So Jungsa is rotating this way, Tanza is rotating this way. A lot of times people misunderstand it. Finally, the last one, Kasa. Did you know? Kasa is pulling motion. But did you also know actual best application for Kasa is opposite hands of each other? Sure, you can count Kasa on the same side, but usually opposite hands to pull someone is the best way to apply it. But the most important thing to remember, and you make sure you know it, is when I do Kasa, I never Kasa into me, right? Here's a bullet, or I'm not Kasaing into me. I'll Kasa down, I'll Kasa to the side, but I won't Kasa directly into me. I don't pull the attack right into my center. I take it off my line, okay? All right, so that's quite a bit, right? 20, did you know? And I'm wondering how many of that did you actually know? Comment, post, respond, whatever in the bottom, and I'll take my time to actually answer it. Hope you guys really enjoyed. Thank you for subscribing. More videos to actually come. If you haven't done so already, on Amazon, the Kirin Rise book series is all there. Book 1, 2, and 3. I am kind of working on 4, somewhat. But for the meantime, hope you enjoy. last but not least, if you really want to learn Wing Chun to the next level, the Kirin Rise Premium series is definitely the way to go. All the information's on below, and most of the time I get a lot of the information free from YouTube and also from the Kirin Rise Facebook, but the premium is really for those who really want to take it to the next level. And as always, you're also welcome to join us on the Zoom classes. I still had a Zoom class last Friday, or actually last Saturday, outside of when we're actually out of lockdown now. So thank you again. Join us next week. Find your Gung Fu.